In Rematch's beta, I put a whopping 34 hours in it. That's more playtime I have for 90% of my Steam library. Despite being filled with bugs, it's genuinely one of the most fun I've had on any game. After the beta, Slowclap announced their release date, 19 June 2025, which for me was an issue for two main reasons. The first one being I was on holiday, meaning I can't enjoy the game I really like playing. The second one being that it shouldn't have been released so early in the first place. You see, despite the beta being fun and all, it was filled with bugs, as well as a lot of areas that needed improvement. So much to the point where I feel like the devs needed more time, and it showed when it was released. When the game was released, there was no option to report for toxic behavior and griefing. It had to be done through Discord, where you have to provide evidence. A few months later is when the game decided, oh, let's add that feature. When I say every aspect of the game needed improvement, I am not exaggerating. To this day, the item store is super empty. For a game to be able to provide constant updates, money is definitely key. But with the lack of things to purchase and the insanely easy to obtain currency, I don't know how Slowclap is gonna achieve that. Speaking of currency, the next issues I want to point out is the Battle Pass. I genuinely believe the Battle Pass has a bit too much items. It's cool to unlock some great items behind the paid Battle Pass, but a lot of it is just 90% cosmetics players are never gonna use or even care about, like new socks or shin pads. Instead, the game should focus more on celebrations and cosmetics that actually stand out. Most of the Battle Pass is also filled with blocks, which is the in-game currency. Just look at this stadium, for example. This stadium costs more than the Battle Pass, and I can literally buy it for blocks and still have more left to buy 7 more of those. I don't know why the game is allergic to making money. And then look at this sock, for example. It's cheap, sure, but compared to the stadium, it's actually more expensive to buy in blocks, whereas to buy it in actual currency, it is cheaper. It just makes no sense. I don't know what math they're trying to add up here, but none of it makes sense. Also, their collabs just don't make any sense. They collab with random footballers, players like Kobe Mainu. They're so irrelevant to a point where there's just no possibility this is gonna make any money. The two goalies that they added, one is irrelevant, the other is way past his prime. The only collab that makes sense and maybe is worth buying is Ronaldinho. On top of that, the bundles are also just horrendous. I mean, why would anyone pay a Battle Pass price just to get some Puma cosmetics or Balenciaga that has nothing to do with football? Don't get me wrong, I like the Balenciaga ones, but I'd rather just buy the Battle Pass at that point. And same goes for the other cosmetics that cost half the Battle Pass. It's just so stupid. I don't know how they expect to make money like this. You know what I do when I see an item that I can purchase in the store? I just purchase it, because what else am I going to do with the currency that I have anyways? There's nothing worth saving up for, honestly, because I know that every collab will just be locked behind something that's the same as the Battle Pass price. Anyways, lastly on the topic, my biggest issue with the customization itself is that we can literally only have 3 characters to customize. Yes, you heard that right. 3 characters. I feel like that's way too little. Especially since they give so much stuff. They give like 20 plus shirts, 10 shoes, just for 3 characters. Like, why? Honestly, maybe they should just make it so that you can use blocks, or maybe even some Battle Pass currency to unlock more, I guess, character customization slots, like a 4th character, 5th character. Maybe that way I can actually spend the money on something useful. Now let's move on to the main topics: gameplay and ranked. I kid you not, every update they do, they either nerf gameplay because something's too broken, or they supposedly fix bugs. Now there are some crazy techs here and there, but there's also some broken techs, like somebody just infinitely flying up because they're self-passing against the wall. That shit I do understand if it gets nerfed. I feel like the game takes their time with trying to fix these things, but somehow they end up adding more weird bugs. Like, check these 2 clips out.
What?
New goalkeeper glitch.
It seems to be the case with every update. It's just there's more glitches, more exploits. At one point they even added a mode called Fireball, and let's just say it did not go well. The moment they added it, they realized, okay, this is game breaking, we have to remove it. So what did they do? They released the game mode in the beta. At this point, it's been like 5 months since the beta, we have the full game. So reinstalling the beta just to play one mode felt really weird, and it's kind of shameful that the devs actually announced this and asked us to download the beta just for that. I hope this isn't the case for the future game modes. Anyways, let's move on to ranked. Now ranked has always been an issue. The elo gain just makes no sense. Whether I'm playing with an elite on my team and I'm versing like a team that's averaging diamonds, or whether I'm playing with some bronze friends and I'm just playing a full stack of bronze, I'm getting the same elo and I'm losing the same elo. At the start of each season, you play a few matches that determine your rank. The issue with these matches is that they don't make sense whatsoever. In the beta, I'm pretty sure I only won half those games and I got plat. One instance where I played with 2 of my friends, we did 3v3 ranked. I got 4 out of the 5 MVPs, yet somehow landed below the person who got the least points. I got plat 3, my friend got gold 1, and then my other friend got plat 2. Just made no sense to me. I don't know how they're calculating this stuff, but honestly, it doesn't work out. Anyways, recently they supposedly fixed elo and now you get like different, but they somehow made it worse. I'm actually getting way like more for losing, and when I'm winning, it's like it's not even rewarding at that point. Climbing is just a little bit harder, and climbing has always just been bad. So hopefully they can make a proper system just like other games have. Speaking of which, you feel like you're stuck in your elo just because you can't really rank down. And honestly, they should add a relegation series just like promotion series, that where you have to fight just to keep your rank. I want to conclude the final part of the video with an important point, as well as quickfire some things that I think I should have been in the game. Remember when I said I had 34 hours in the beta? Well, that was in a span of 3 days. Now if you do a little bit of math, that's 11 hours a day. Whereas when I bought the game, I only put 30 hours in 1 month. That's like 1 hour a day. Now to understand why the numbers were so different, you must realize one thing. You see, the beta was free, whereas the game is roughly 20 bucks. The thing is, when a game is free, people have nothing to lose. Might as well try it. They either like it or they don't. But when it costs money, they're more hesitant to even try it out. After playing the beta, I was kinda confused why the game cost money anyways, because honestly, it kinda did feel like I'm playing a game that's better than Rocket League. And it just feels like most of these multiplayers benefit more from being free, because you're just gonna have more people playing it, and I think it's a better way of making money in general, just from battle passes and all that stuff. Look at Overwatch 2. I've never played Overwatch 1, and a lot of people who played Overwatch 2 never even played that game anyways. But because Overwatch 2 became free, a lot of people started playing it and it became more popular. Now Overwatch might not have the best reputation, but at the end of the day, it's making money and the player count is still pretty solid. A reason why Rematch was fun for me is because I had a bunch of different friends playing it. But when the game actually came out, only 2 were willing to actually buy the game. Not many people are willing to spend 20 bucks. And I feel like this is a big missed opportunity. The thing is, football is like the biggest thing in the world. Let's be real. The last World Cup final alone already had like 1 billion viewers. Now, I'm not saying all of these are potential gamers that are gonna get the game, but just think of how many people out there play FIFA or like the free equivalent to FIFA, which is eFootball. And those games are low-key kind of garbage. And I feel like if Rematch was free, more people would hop off these games and actually give this a go, and there would just be more players. And honestly, when there's more players, it will just allow the devs to cater for the game better, because not only would they be probably motivated, things like feedback are just going to be more consistent. Right now, I feel like the updates, Rematch knows it has like a small community and they're just trying to cling on to it. They're not really doing a good job, because all these updates that have bugs or they give us features way too late into the game are just gonna put people aside from playing it. Speaking of features, here's what we actually want Rematch to add. Number 1 is names on shirt. Just like real football, it would be nice to have like a custom name on a shirt. Now of course they do need to take some measures in allowing certain words only, certain names, so that people don't put some weird shit. But it shouldn't be too hard, considering games have been doing that for usernames for the past decade. The second necessary thing is definitely push to talk and more communications for those who don't have mic. I feel like the game kind of lacks some stuff, because you can only do callouts for keeper, pass the ball, or looking for options, which, don't get me wrong, is not bad, but I do feel like when you're playing without a mic, there's little communications. The game does try with their communications, but most of them are kind of off-putting. And if the game does have a push to talk, it would be way better than for me always to open up the menu and then unmuting through the game, because I'm always talking to my friend when I'm playing the game, so I'm already using my microphone, but I don't want to be talking in game. So if they add a push to talk, that would be just necessary. Third one is checking out people's profile. I don't know what the point of having profiles in the game and having so many numbers and stats, how much you've ran, how much passes and goals you have, when you can't even check people's profiles. Because sometimes these guys that peak in a certain rank are low-key just trash, and I kind of want to see their rank and their actual stats to see if they're good or not. But unfortunately, the only thing you can see is just their Steam profile, which is kind of useless. And as for crossplay, you can't even check their profile. You can only add them as a crossplay friend, and that's it. Sometimes I'm just kind of curious, and even just to see my friend's profile. I know you can use like third-party websites, but let's be honest, that's kind of long, and it's better to just have it in-game like any other game. 4 is match history, just so you can see the stats of the previous matches. Nowadays, when you have a match and people tend to leave, you can't even see their stats unless everyone decides to stay. I kind of don't like that, and I do want to sometimes go back to matches just to see how much goals I scored or assist or how defensive I played. 5 is play of the game. Now, this one doesn't really make too much sense, and it will be very difficult to determine what a play of the game would be. For example, in games like Overwatch, if you go on a kill streak, that would be the play of the game. Whereas if you were to do a trick shot, that wouldn't be the play of the game because the game wouldn't be able to recognize something different. And I feel like it would be very hard to implement a system that would recognize an amazing goal rather than just a normal goal. But maybe they can do like MVP of the game and just show a brief highlights. For example, if I'm MVP and I scored 2 goals and assisted 1, it would show both the assist and the 2 goals, or maybe some crucial tackles, I don't know. But I feel like it would be fun just for the MVP and just something more to the table, or even the SVP maybe. Now number 6 is very important, it's leaderboards. Without leaderboard, rank is kind of useless. I don't know if the third-party websites have leaderboards, I think they do, but just in general the game doesn't. And I know when you reach max rank, that's it, there's nothing else, unless there's some third-party way of determining somebody's actual rank, but usually that's just calculated by overall XP, and it's a bullshit way of actually determining if somebody's good or not. Another thing is weekly challenges, especially for these annoying ass battle pass coins. I know they're very easy to obtain, but I feel like the only way for you to be getting them is by getting XP. Is kind of a stupid thing, like you just level up infinitely and you get them. Why don't they just add weekly challenges? For example, one is make 5 saves, one is score 3 goals, stuff like that, or complete 20 passes. I know these are very little, but these are just examples, just so we can get these tokens in a better way. Therefore, people don't really have to play consistently, and they can just play whenever they want, once a week, and already catch up with people playing on a daily basis for those battle pass tokens. And lastly, how can I almost forget, they need to add the rematches. The game is literally called Rematch, and there's no rematch. Games like Rocket League literally have a rematch option, and it's really nice. If you just lose a game you knew you could have won, well, just press rematch. If you beat an opponent, but they're low-key kind of cocky and they want another try, just accept the rematch. It's a fun way to play the game, honestly, and I think it's better to queue with the same people you enjoy playing with, like the random people, and maybe some decent opponents, than always queuing into randoms, and sometimes these randoms can be so annoying. Anyways, this was me yapping. I'm very curious to see what you guys think about Rematch and what they should improve. Let me know in the comments. I'm out.